And Ketaki Chitale, the Marathi actor herself, is joining us. First of all, Ketaki, thanks a lot for speaking to CNN News 18. You're joining us after an ordeal that most people, especially young people, cannot even imagine. Spending over a month in jail over a social media post. In fact, oversharing someone else's words on social media. So first up, I want to begin by asking you, how do you look back at your 40 days in jail and everything that you've been through?
I look back and think as to how weird our justice system is, how unfair, how unlawfully I was picked up from my place and thrown behind bars for just copy pasting someone else's poem.
Right.
They were not even my words. And is this how India is going to work? Isn't it illegal to just pick someone up without any prior intimation, without any notice given, without any arrest warrant? And it was just a post. It wasn't even as if I was targeting somebody. People interpreted it to be Mr. Sharad Pawar, and they just picked me up. And there were 22 FIRs.
Yes.
That is how I look whenever I think about it. That is what comes to my mind. And regarding the ordeals that some youths can't even imagine, I hope nobody needs to go through that.
No,
Just not the youth, but anybody.
I understand that. But can you share a little bit about your time in jail? And you were obviously mentioning about how you were picked up. If you could share a little bit of details, what you think was not done legally or lawfully, because your lawyers have also raised some objections in court. How was your time in jail? How were you treated? And do you feel the police was keen to get to the bottom of the case, or was it just about teaching you a lesson?
First and foremost, I was sleeping, so I had no idea. And the police just came at my door, rang the bell, they just picked me up, and I was just taken into their custody. After that, which again, it's illegal, unlawful, because there was no prior intimation or notice given. Because since, as I mentioned earlier, if it was only defamation that they were claiming it to be, then a notice needs to be given. Come to the police station, give your statement, we want to hear your side of the story, etc., etc., etc. Nothing was done. I was just picked up, taken into custody. Then the custody, the hands were changed. From Kalamboli, I was given to Thani police custody into their hands, and I was beaten up by NCP females who were there. There were about a mob of 20 people along with reporters as well. Of course, reporters did not harass me, but they threw color at me. They say it is ink, but it wasn't ink. It was that toxic black color which is extremely harmful to our skin. They threw that color at me. They threw eggs while in police custody. What was the police doing inside the police compound? It is illegal, unlawful. Not only me being attacked, harassed, beaten, molested. I was molested like, my pallu fell down. I was wearing a sari. My pallu fell down. Someone tripped me over, hit my right breast. And when they hit me, I fell into the police car. So my sari went up, my pallu fell down. And like how can a female, okay, I understand you are angry or whatever it is, but being a female, they are molesting another female. Are these people who should be representing us in future? That is my question to everybody out there who would be listening to this whenever, wherever. But is this what we want? After that, they just take me and I am in police custody for 4 days. After that, I am remanded into judicial custody for a day. And then the Rabale police come into the scenario.
Yes.
They pick me up. Now I'm in their Taba. They pick me up. Again, the hands change. And my old case, which was apparently, it was filed against me in 2020, I think 3rd March. On 3rd March 2020, some youngster, he filed an FIR against me, which was an atrocities case. But I hadn't written anything atrocious. They had complained on the basis of the comments that had come
On your post.
on that post.
Yes.
And there are 3 people who the police have specifically categorically written down the names of. But those 3 people are absconding. The police are saying that they don't know where these 3 people are. I was picked up. I was remanded again for 5 days under the police custody. Again, I was there for 5 days. These 3 people, the police still haven't found these 3 people. What is cybercrime doing? My case has gone into cybercrime. All my gadgets have been confiscated. They have been searching my gadgets. I'm sure they must have mirrored it. If all of this is possible, then can't our cybercrime unit find out who these 3 people are who have actually spoken atrocious things, which I do not support at all.
Okay.
Even in my statement, when I had given the statement to the police, I have specifically, categorically told them that I do not support such comments because they were really, really pathetic. Like really pathetic. That
Okay.
I mean, I like every time that I think about it, it's like it's not right. So those 3 people need to be behind bars. But I was picked up and I was put behind bars. I'm never ever going to get those 41 days of my life back.
Right.
I have lost my work. I've lost projects. I don't know whether I'm going to get new projects ever in my life because now I've been labeled as a criminal. Right now, even when I'm talking to you, even right now, I'm out on bail in both the cases. So I might be arrested again.
Right.
It's not as if I'm a free human being.
No, I get
And
what you're
in
saying.
the rest of the 21 cases that were filed against me, I have still received an interim relief. It's not as if, they have been quashed or something.
Yes, yes. No, those 22 FIRs definitely speak and tell the tale. I want to ask you, do you feel that you were made an example of? That you were deliberately taught a lesson? And if so, why? Why were you made an example?
I asked this question and I wonder regarding this question myself because this is not the first time that I have been targeted.
Okay.
I have been targeted, I'm being targeted since 2017. And I have been constantly trolled, so much so that I have actually made a video which is still there on Instagram, on my Instagram, an IGTV, where I have read all the comments, derogatory comments that have been spoken against me. I have filed an FIR, but that FIR still hasn't gone in the court.
Okay.
The people, again, like previously, as I said, I was molested, I was, beaten up. Those people are out there, they are scot-free. The police are not even ready to register or take my case, like file a complaint against them. So I'm guessing that it's my guess that they are just targeting me, but even I want to know why.
But do you feel that you're saying you've been targeted since 2017? Is it because you're outspoken, that you offend important people in power? Let's say the current government feels that you are against them, or you are of a certain ideology that is opposed to them. Is that why you're being targeted, you think?
I have no idea. I do not know why I'm being targeted. Yes, I am outspoken. Maybe that is one of the reasons. I can say that because I am not the one. I'm not a female who is going to shut up and just gulp everything down. So yes, maybe my outspokenness must have been a reason. I don't know about the ideologies or the other reasons that you just listed out. But as I said, I myself would like to know as to why they are behind me. Like, what are they trying to achieve out of this?
Well, that is a big question.
I would like to know myself.
What is the end game here? What is the message here? Is something that is up for debate. But you're talking to me at a time when Mohammed Zubair, who runs a website, has also been arrested for some of his past tweets. And we are seeing that there is a barrage of support coming for him, especially from very big politicians, even former chief ministers. But nobody really spoke for you, certainly not anyone in Maharashtra or those who have any politics to do in Maharashtra, where you come from. So how do you feel about that?
I'm a Homo sapien, an individual, an independent local individual who has brains. So nobody was going to support me, and they did not. Whereas, according to he himself, he is a zoo bear, a bear who's kept in a zoo. So clearly, his zookeepers are coming out, and now we know who his zookeepers are. It's quite clear, isn't it?
Okay, let me ask you one more time. Do you feel that this whole discussion about freedom of speech, expression, especially whom you can offend, whether you can say something against a politician or not, is lopsided? Exactly the people who claim to be the flag bearers of freedom and speech, they pick and choose exactly who they stand up for.
Yes, of course. It is very selective justice. And isn't it like, whenever we see, even in history, or if you observe all around ourselves, it is always the people who are the flag bearers who are hypocrites. And they have to bear that flag because they know that they are going to, be a hypocrite and act otherwise. So they have to be the flag bearers, and that is exactly what they are doing. And that needs to stop. You cannot just pick someone up, choose and decide whom to pick and whom not to pick. I mean, Rahul Gandhi is coming out. OSC is coming out. Everyone is speaking for him. But as I said, now we know who these zookeepers are for this zoo bear.
Okay, let me ask you finally, how confident are you? You mentioned your fight is not over. This fight will be ongoing. Also, do you feel like you should have avoided copy-pasting that post which is allegedly pointing to Mr. Pawar? Would you do it again if you could turn back time? Do you have any regrets, for example?
First and foremost, it is the public's interpretation that it is Mr. Sharad Pawar. If it was, then I would have mentioned Mr. Sharad Pawar. It is just Pawar that has been mentioned. And as I think I previously mentioned, not even a single person whose last name is Pawar, has filed an FIR. And if the people think that it is Mr. Sharad Pawar that I'm referring to, then that means whatever has been written in that poem holds ground, doesn't it? So are NCP people accepting that Mr. Sharad Pawar is like that? I do not regret what I did. I will do it again if I would have done that. I wouldn't change a single thing.
Okay.
This is an ongoing fight. It has just started. And at the end, truth wins, no matter what. And I'm ready to fight.
Okay.
Because I have suffered and I'm not going to let it go.
All right. I'll end on that note. Ketaki Chitale, thanks a lot for joining us. We certainly wish you the best as far as your legal fights are concerned. Thanks a lot.